What's up, y'all? This video, you know about the title. Damn, I'm stuttering. You know about the title. I can't go back the way I used to be, the person I thought I was, how I used to do things. I feel like it comes a time in every good guy's life where you have to take off the sunglasses and you have to be true to what you see and not what you hear. Um, Understanding patterns, understanding actions, understanding why certain people move the way you do, and also just understanding that it isn't something you should necessarily take as is. You will never know why a person does the way they do things fully, because in some way, shape, or form, they've done that thing and they don't know why they do that thing. And if a person themselves don't know why they're doing something, then they're kind of cooked. I ain't gonna lie. Some way, shape, or form, they're kind of cooked. Because when it comes to I don't know why I did it in that way, that means that if a person aside from them figures out why they do that thing specifically that way, and they themselves, the person doing that thing don't know why, that means the person who figures out why they do that in the first place can control the person who don't know why they doing that in the first place. And the scary thing is about that is, if the person who has all this information is very selfish, they could basically get them to do anything they want them to do. And just understanding that point alone makes me not ever want to go back to doing things out of, oh, that's just how I am. Now, not to say that I won't do things based off who I am and why I am or how I am, but it's just understanding that now it's a lot more intentional. I do this because this is my heart. Not that I do this because this is how I am. There's a reason. There's a reason backing it. There's a groundedness of backing it. Because now because I know why I do it, I have the ability to stop doing it. If I do something and I don't know why I'm doing it in the first place, that means it's instinct. It's uncontrollable. You're just doing it just to do it. Humans, we're animals, but we're not animal. We have animal tendencies, but because we have logic and we have a brain and because we got this animalisticness and we got logic and we combine them together, that's just a more powerful version of decision making. If we were moving off of pure instinct, then there'd be a lot of instant gratification things going on in the first place. Now this concept is just something I've been growing into because I used to operate out of, I don't know why I'm doing it, but this just feels right, so I'm gonna do it, which isn't a bad thing entirely. However, as a man in this society, as a black man, first and foremost, if I'm just doing things off of this strength of me without actually knowing why I'm doing something, that could get me in a lot of trouble, because that would put me in a position where people can take advantage of me. You feel what I'm saying? Because they know the type of the heart I have. Now, if I'm doing things off of reasoning and, oh nah, this is just something I should do because I feel like doing it, and there's a reason backing behind it, then in any way, shape, or form, when a person tries to take advantage of me for something, or tries to, or attempts, I'm able to pull back and not feel any type of remorse for pulling back, because I know what you're trying to do. You feel what I'm saying? There's a lot of people in the world who are going to take advantage of you. You know what I'm saying? And it's not to scare anybody or to be bitter about it. It's just understanding that you have to be aware of everything you do. Be aware of all the actions you take. Be aware of the things you say. Be aware of the impact you have on people. You know what I'm saying? Not a lot of people is very grounded. Not a lot of people is searching for. Not a lot of people trying to be better for themselves. Not everybody's trying to be uncomfortable being being comfortable with being uncomfortable. So understand that when you're taking an approach to better yourself, there's a lot of people who's gonna look upon you and be jealous of you because they're not taking that step for themselves. They don't know how to take that step for themselves. Understand that. And once you start putting things into consideration, you start to become more calm. You feel what I'm saying? You start to become more calculating. You start to become more grounded. You start to become more of a man. You start to become more, I understand the weight of my words. I understand the weight of how I walk. I understand the weight of how I talk. I understand the weight of how I look. I understand the weight of... Everything starts to become more in the same type of, like, water wavelength. Everything starts to become the same wavelength because the way you carry yourself is the most important thing you can have as a person. Because if somebody doesn't know you, based off your body language, based off how you talk, based off how you look at them, based off how you pause when you speak, based off how you communicate, the way your words flow together, everything is very surface level, but they sense the intention, they sense the energy, they sense everything, the dynamic. Everything you could think of, they could sense it. Because we have that animalistic instinct. You feel what I'm saying? So when you combine that animalistic instinct, that intention, that logic, everything becomes so magnetic. And it all stems from knowing yourself and learning yourself, understanding your inner world, and aligning that inner world with your outer world. Not saying that you can't be receptive to how other people feel, but understand that just because you say something and another person feels a way for what you say, understanding that that's not your fault. That's just how they feel, and it's okay for them to feel that way. Just as it's okay for you to say what you said. This is just something of maturity. Being mature with what you think, and being mature with when you do express what you think and a person takes it the wrong way, being mature to accept why they would take it that wrong way, but understanding that just because they took it that way doesn't influence what you think and what you said. Being mature in a way where you don't sugarcoat things, in the way where you pretty it up too much to change the meaning of what you're saying for another person to be able to hear it. Being able to say something off your chest the first time, understand that may hurt somebody, but you can take responsibility for that. You feel what I'm saying? I think that's just part of the man I'm trying to become, the man I'm going to become, and just why I can't go back. Because once you see these things, you can't unsee these things. And this could either put you in two different places. You could either be, damn, this world sucks. Like, I don't want to. Or you could be, I'm going to stand on what I say. I'm going to do what I say. And if nobody like it, they don't like it. We can have a conversation. We're grown enough to have a conversation. Stuff like that. It's just like the intention is going to be speaking volumes. The energy is going to be speaking volumes. That's the type of thing where I can't go back from. I can't go back to just being a person where I'm just passive. It's like nonchalant like this. And don't get me wrong. There are times to be nonchalant. There's times to just, if I don't care, I don't care. But when I do care, I'll make it be known. I won't be afraid to make it be known. You know, stuff like that. So what type of person do you want to be?